Hey guys, welcome back to the Interceptor. We are here with War number 2 of Season 51, and Matrix has matched up against Pycb. These guys are a very, very good alliance, and we know that they're probably going to clear us in 3 or 4 deaths, even if that many. So we have to do our absolute best. And unfortunately, my rank 3 7-star Chee'Ilth was banned. This is the first time we have seen her banned. But it is not going to be the last time, because she is banned in both Wars 3 and 4. War 4, we just got our matchup literally 5 minutes before I'm recording this, so I know she's banned already. I don't know what paths I'm taking, but I know she's banned. And this war, I got assigned Kate Bishop. And if you watched, or if you listened last season, I didn't actually say this in a war video because I stopped making war videos. I did say it in a live stream. I died 3 times all of last season. 2 of those 3 deaths were using Kate Bishop, a non-tactic attacker, against a tactic defender. And I said to my officer, I messaged him in DMs, I said, hey man, I'm really not comfortable with this tactic unless I'm using someone that bypasses like the auto block, or unless it's a tactic attacker, or if the matchup like really makes sense. If it's kind of an iffy matchup, I really don't think that's a great idea. I think it's quite a significant risk. And to top it off, to make it even better, we are starting out this one with a Wong. And what happened with Wong? Well, he is insanely bugged. He is super, super bugged. And basically, what happens with Wong is that his pre-fight, or his cross-fight that he inflicts, is bugged in 2 ways. First off, it's bugged where it'll activate even if you kill him when he's under a bar of power, which is not supposed to be the way that it works. And 2, instead of the crossfight lasting for 1 fight, it lasts for the rest of the quest. So every fight from here on out that I'm using Kate for, which is every single fight but 1, they're going to start out with a bar of power, which is super, super fun. Now, obviously, in my fight, Wong did end with over a bar of power, but someone else told me that it happened to them in the same war. And that was a 10% chance to happen when I start with a parry and it gets auto-blocked, like the 1 little hit. And then there I landed the parry, but I didn't notice he went unblockable. And unfortunately, at some point at the beginning of the fight while I was dashing back to try to bait a special, I accidentally double-tapped block, and my arrow switched. So here I had to switch it back. Also, another thing that you may not have noticed is that I applied the pre-fight and it failed, which is just so much fun. I applied the Kate Bishop pre-fight so that my arrows don't cycle. Yeah, the game said, screw you, we're not letting that happen. We're gonna make the pre-fight fail, because the icon was on there and the pre-fight just failed. So there I swap it back. But at this point, I'm stuck in the corner. It's heavy hitter. I can't really do anything. And then there, I tried to parry, but I think he went unblockable because he started with a medium attack. I don't really remember. Honestly, I don't even remember taking this fight. I was just so pissed off afterwards that my short-term memory is gone. All I remember is like sitting at the KO screen, like, how did I just die to this fight? And to be truthful, this is not a good matchup. Like, yes, I have Wag so that Limber's not that bad, or like that huge, but I also made a few mistakes. And when you combine a bad matchup that you should probably never be sending with a player that is gonna make mistakes, then sometimes you get a death. And I did it again. Now, I know the spacing. I've taken Shocker with Kate successfully before and not had these issues. But for some reason, today when I was fighting, I just completely forgot about the light spacing. I took Shocker on Path 5 Section 1 on the first node last season with Kate, and the fight went perfectly. but for some reason, every single time but one this war that I was taking the matchup, it just didn't work. So yeah, we're going to drop a death there. I've since told my officer, no more tactic defenders unless I have a tactic attacker, which I think is perfectly reasonable considering that if you let me redo that fight with literally any tactic attacker in the game, I soul it 100% of the time. 100%. As long as I'm using someone that's an equal rank to Shocker, 100 billion% of the time I am soloing that fight. Tactic was definitely the thing that had me killed there. And this fight's going to be fun. This is going to be Spider-Punk, except he is allergic to throwing special attacks, and he apparently completely forgot what exactly a special attack is, because he is just going to downright refuse to throw his SP1, and now I have to hit into his block to pause the cold snap, and he's almost at SP2. I don't know what his SP2 looks like. I don't have the faintest clue, because why would I? I've only ever baited his SP1. And turns out it is insanely long ruptures. And yeah, I also didn't know what his heavy attack was, or I think I just forgot. I think I actually did know what his heavy attack was. But anyways, now that those ruptures took us down to 37%, I do know how he interacts with the ebb and flow intercept node, and I know that you do need to be able to counter evade, because when he is intercepted, he evades. I do know that part. But yeah, and then here he is gonna go down. There, he is gonna go down. Not the most fun fight in the world. But when he's in auto block phase, there's just really nothing I can do. I can't land my parries. I can't counter his heavy with a heavy. I have to kind of just sit around and hit into his block. That's literally all I can do. Again, I don't love that matchup. I think someone like Venom, or literally any tactic attacker, is infinitely better than Kate Bishop for that fight. But you know what? We had to have a Kate Bishop here for this destroyer, so I guess it just didn't really work out. But either way, this destroyer, this is probably the worst fight to have that Wong crossfight on, because destroyer throwing SP1 is actually what you don't want in this matchup. That's actually what can get you killed. Or at least if he throws it multiple times. But here I am going to push him to L2. I am very comfortable dexing his L2. I didn't really know how to do it at first, but I did practice a bit, and now I feel really comfortable doing it. So I'm just going to bait it out. He's not really looking to throw it, so I just hit into the block a few times. Full dex it. Now I'm going to make sure I'm far away so that his dash attack is counted as an intercept. And now here I just need to parry a little bit, and he does go down. So rank 3 7-star destroyer goes down in a little under a minute. And that was it for my path fights, and then I had to wait like a long time for my last fight to be open. And it is going to be node 48 Longshot, and I actually have Human Torch for only this fight. And the person clearing node 46 didn't clear until literally a minute before this. So they cleared, tagged me, and then I instantly went in and did the fight because I was already in game doing something else. So we're gonna boost up here. I don't remember how big I boost, but maybe I boost to the max. No, do I go with a 15%? I do go. Okay, that's probably smart. Ash probably goes 20. Nice. Okay. That would have been a huge waste of a 30% green boost for one fight. By the way, at this point, the war was completely over. Completely over. So, yeah, we're going to use a 20% because I believe I used a 30% for Section 1 and 2. And I don't want to burn 2 30s in one war. That's kind of stupid. Unless they're very tough fights. And this is not. I had Wags to deal with Conflictor, and we're just going to do medium-light combos so that he never gets a prowess. And in hindsight, I should have been throwing SP1s. That is definitely what I should have done. I am going to throw an SP2, and I am fully aware it's going to trigger Conflictor, but at this point, it was mostly just about giving him power. And no, wait, maybe I'm not going to throw SP2. Yeah, he throws us his SP2. I know it's going to do a lot of block damage, but I'm just going to block it for temperature. I'm not really too concerned about dying to block damage in a matchup like this. And I know Human Torch is just going to melt him super fast. So bait out one more SP1. He does go down a little under a minute for a rank 3 7-star Longshot. I'm pretty happy with that. And that's going to be the end of my war. So we did lose this war. We lost this war with a score of 3 to 15. They cleared with 3 deaths really early. Very, very early. Before we even had, I want to say, half our fights down. We were around half, or maybe just over half, when they cleared their 150th fight. So we gave up. We dropped a few more deaths than we probably should have. But you know what? It's fine. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. And we actually had a member kicked after this war because he didn't boost. So the war was already lost, and he waited to do all of his fights until after the war was lost, and then he didn't boost, and in, I think, 4 fights or 5 fights, he died 4 times. Because apparently, he thought it was off-season. And, yeah, so we kicked him for that, obviously. Because that's insane. That's an insane thing to do, and you don't belong in the Masters Alliance if you do something that stupid. Because we could have cleared with under 10 deaths. If it was not for that. So, yeah, not really fun. Not really fun there. But we are now 1-1 on the season, and my death total is at 1 now. Hopefully, don't get too many more deaths this season, but we'll see. And my PSR is now at 8 out of 9 fights soloed, or 89%. And I died in my 2nd fight of the war, so that is a current deathless streak of 3 fights. So that's going to be all for today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.